Boosh Allen here. I'm hiding from a horde of angry gatekeepers, but I thought it important to welcome our newest greatcoat, Court of the Cerulean Sea. And we also want to welcome to the fight to the Knights of Alexandria, Sir Sarah of Shafam. Oh, I think I hear them coming. I have to go. Shut the door, shut the door.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Library of Alexandria. Today we are going to be talking about my overly ambitious November TBR. So, I'm still making a TBR despite the fact that October did not go as planned. The TBR exploded everywhere because it was a really weird reading month, and I'll talk more about that in my wrap-up. I was just having a rough time on the struggle bus trying to get anything read, so I kind of deviated to kind of get some palate cleansers, and I don't know, it's a mess. But I am going to try to adhere to this month's TBR as much as possible, but there is an almost certainty that I will not be able to get to all the books on this TBR. But I should be able to get to most of them because it is the Thanksgiving holiday, so I have a week off for school, and so I'm hoping to get a bunch of reading done during that holiday time. So, without wasting any more time on this preamble, let us get down to the books that I plan on reading in the month of November. And boosh! Number one is, you've already seen this book, it was on a previous TBR and I didn't actually get to it, The White Rose, Black Company number 3. So I was supposed to read this back in like September, maybe August. One of those months I was supposed to read this, and I just didn't get to it. This is the third book in the Black Company series. It is the end of like the first trilogy, which are called the Books of the North. I can't say too much about what it's about because if you haven't read the first two, it'll kind of spoil stuff. But this just kind of wraps up the Northern storyline before the rest of the books kind of continue just in and start a new storyline, really. So it's super short. I'm already about halfway through. It's only 300 pages, so I should be done with this one, really, if not tomorrow, then the next day. So this one's already started, already almost done, and that way I can kind of clean up something that was on my TBR earlier and not have that sword of Damocles hanging over my head. The next book on my TBR is Boosh! Full Moon by Jim Butcher, number 2 in the Dresden Files. So if you saw my Dresden review, I thought the first one was, the mystery is kind of dumb, and there are some things I didn't like, but I love that noir genre. I love the Max Payne feel, the Philip Marlowe feel, and so all the tropes and all the conventions of the noir genre is there, and so I really, really enjoyed that. And I've heard from so many people that it just gets better as it goes along. So I'm going to give it another shot. I've heard pretty much unanimous things that Full Moon is the worst of the bunch. It's about werewolves, as the cover tells you. And werewolves are fine. Like, whatever. Okay. I don't know. I hope there's not a bunch of dumb named things in this, like I hope Toot Toot doesn't come back. But I have been informed that there is a skull named Bob, but I don't know why I didn't think of this. I was informed, thank you guys, that Bob's just what Harry calls him. That's not actually his name, so, that's okay, really. And also, for those of you who aptly pointed out, or that when I was complaining about Fluffy and Cerberus, Cerberus doesn't mean spot. Cerberus means spotted. So Cerberus's name isn't Spot. It just could mean in the Greek spotted. But Cerberus himself isn't spotted. He's like got snakes on his back and is just a hellhound. Anyway, nobody cares about that digression. Full Moon, I'm excited to read that. Easy read is Dresden. It's only like 350 pages. Can tear through that one in a couple days, 3 days maybe also. So, excited to read part 2 of Harry Dresden because everyone says it kind of picks up at book 3. Next on the list is the return of Kuchunk, The Dragon Republic by R.F. Kuang. This was in my last month TBR and I did not get to it. It was a weird month last month, so I did not get to The Dragon Republic. However, I will definitely be getting to this as soon as possible because I want to read it and be done with it by the time The Burning God comes out on the 17th of November. I want to read The Burning God as soon as it comes out because I want to be able to kind of complete it. I can complete a series at the same time that everybody else does for the first time on BookTube. Plus, I'm super interested in this. I've been working on, if you haven't seen it, started my History of the Poppy War video series, and the first one is up, talking about kind of the British and the Opium Wars, and the next one will talk more about Japan and the Sino-Japanese Wars. I have heard that Hesperia is involved a lot more in this second book, and I think that is going to be where we see that that history between China and Britain kind of coming into play. Where in the first one, it's much more of the Japan-Chinese history. So I'm super excited to read Dragon Republic. Most people say it's even better than Poppy War. My buddy Sam is the only holdout, so I'm super pumped to read it. It is long, so I got to get started so that I can finish it by the 17th in order to read The Burning God. Next on this list, and this will give many of you a sigh of relief, a weight will be lifted off of your shoulders. Children will laugh again and play in the park. The sun will come out from behind the clouds, and all will be right with the world, because Alan is finally reading Brandon Sanderson. Mistborn, or The Fallen Empire, book 1 of the Mistborn trilogy. This will be the first Sanderson book that I will have read, which is future perfect tense, all you students who are watching and studying that right now. This will be the first Sanderson book. I'm excited, but also trepidatious, because what if I don't like Sanderson? Can you be on BookTube and not like Sanderson? I hope so, or else, I'll have to make another apology video. So I'm really hoping that I enjoy Sanderson. I've heard very few people talk bad about Mistborn. I've heard that it's one of his best. Several people I know like it the best of all of his series, other than maybe the Stormlight Archives. Mistborn is apparently about when the Dark Lord won, and the hero tried to overthrow him, and it didn't work. And so I guess the Lord Ruler is just in charge of everything, and there's metal for magic. They like burn alloys, and that gives you different powers, which is cool. I have not yet been exposed to one of Sanderson's hard magic systems for which he is known so well. So I'm eager to be part of the Cosmere/Sanderson conversation, because currently I am on the outside singing all by myself, because everyone's read Sanderson except for me. There is, however, I did find a ragtag group of men and women in the woods who were also feeding off of tree bark and bugs that we could find under the logs. And we are going to be buddy reading Mistborn in the Shelf Space Discord while everyone else is reading Rhythm of War, and they forget that we ever existed. And we will just kind of take over the ghost town while they are, shut up in their apartments, and they'll emerge to find a world completely changed where, we have rabid badgers carrying the mail and attacking people who bother us. So we will gladly have this bloodless coup while everyone is distracted reading Rhythm of War. So thank you, Mr. Sanderson. I'm excited to read Mistborn, and I gotta see what all the fuss is about. I gots to know. The next one on here is Boosh! Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wong. So this book is the Shelf Space Book Club pick for November. If you're not already in Shelf Space, come and join us. We'll have a live show at the end of the month. And this month's host is, as always, Jessie May, and the co-host will be Elle from Elliot Brooks. I'm excited to read this book. I haven't heard one person not like it. I haven't heard one person not like this book. The names are Japanese. The main character's name, or the kid's name, is Mamoru, which is Japanese for promise. And there's an awesome mom character, and they have water bending. I haven't seen Avatar, but they have ice powers, which is freaking awesome. I love Japanese stuff. I love that this is Japanese inspired. I hear that there is warfare. I hear that there is grief and sorrow. I am all ready to read this book and be part of that conversation as well. It sounds amazing, and I'm so psyched to read and talk about it, but I guarantee you'll have a full review when I'm done. If you like Sword of Kaigen, tell me how awesome it is. Boom, down right there in the comments. On the subject of live shows, I am actually super excited for this next one. I was asked by by the ladies over at the Top Shelf Society, which is like the Finer Things Club of BookTube.
We meet once a month to discuss books and art, celebrate culture in a very civilized way.
One of their hosts will not be able to be there for their live show that they do every month with the books that they pick. And so they asked me if I could fill in, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. If you do not know yet the Top Shelf Society ladies, the Finer Things Club, I met them when I had 12 subscribers, y'all. So I love these ladies. They're all amazing. You should check out all their channels, varying different kinds of books that they read, but they're all super, super nice. And so I cannot wait to join them on their live show discussing the book Rebecca by Daphne someone, but I didn't look it up before doing this. Crap. Un momento. By Daphne du Maurier, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Anyway, this is an old book. This is like from the 40s, and it's about this like really wealthy guy who like rescues this orphan girl from like the streets of Monte Carlo and takes her in, and I guess like I think he like marries her. But like the shadow of his dead wife looms large, and there's like horrible things. I don't know. It seems super creepy. I read the description, and I've seen a lot of people talking about this recently. I don't know. Is there a movie that's just coming out, or a TV show, or something related to this that's just coming out? I feel like I keep hearing about this a lot. But regardless, I'm gonna read it. I'm going to go in kind of blind, and I'll be joining them at the end of the month on their live show to discuss it and discuss whether or not it is Top Shelf Society material. I'm hoping that I'm not quite as bad as Jim from The Office in the Finer Things club, where he comes and is just like, oh, top of the morning to you, and his favorite character from Angela's Ashes is Angela or the Ashes, depending. So I'm really excited about that. Also on my TBR, and I am so sorry, Kieran, I have been promising my buddy Kieran from KD Books that I'm going to read Burnt Sugar by Avni Doshi for months, and I just haven't been able to do it. If you don't know, Burnt Sugar is on the short list to win the Booker Prize. It's only like 250 pages, and everyone I know who's reading literary fiction just loves it and thinks it's a masterpiece and it's amazing. It's about this woman who watches her mom die from like dementia, but she doesn't like her mom because her mom was like made them homeless and just treated her like garbage like growing up. So it's about like how do you deal with the death of someone who you're related to, but you actually like actively hate. And it sounds really good. And I keep meaning to do it, and I just haven't been able to get to it. So I'm really gonna try to get to Burnt Sugar this month. And the last one before I go knock it over to the what are those things? The DnD Minis of Fate, before they pick something to put on my TBR that I'm not going to make it to. I feel so bad for those poor D&D minis. They're going to stage a revolution. I'm going to wake up and they're all around my bed like with little matches. Is The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. This will be the conclusion of the Poppy War trilogy. I don't know what to expect because I have not read The Dragon Republic yet, but I do know that it'll be the conclusion of this series, and I will be super, super jazzed to finish that and kind of be part of the conversation as people finish it, and we can talk about, you know, was it a good conclusion? Because it's always challenging to stick that landing. Is the last one in a trilogy good? Like, that's always super hard for authors to stick that landing. I know that I haven't liked lots of third books in trilogies before. So we'll see if R.F. Kuang sticks that landing there. So I'm going to turn it over to the D&D Minis of Fate for my last one on my TBR. Here they are, the D&D Minis of Fate that will again decide a book that I put on my TBR and do not actually get to. But I'm probably going to have a month where I read all the TBR books that I didn't get to before. See that beholder? You see him right there? You see that guy right there? I want to knock over the beholder. I need a special prize if I knock over the beholder or some kind of special thing because the frickin' beholder continues to elude me. All right, so remember, I'm going to roll this tennis ball, and I'm going to try to get more than one, because I've gotten one every freaking time. Whichever one I knock over is sitting on a letter, and I have to choose a book to put on my TBR that starts with that letter, but the, A, and do not count. So if it's a T or an A, I pick the word after those articles. So here we go. I'm going to go for the beholder, or at least get two. So here we go. I always get one. Here we go. All right. I got two. I did get two. I got the dragon. You see it bounce over the freaking beholder? What is your problem, beholder? All right. The Hook Horror. The Hook Horror left me with Boosh. Q?
What? Do you have any books that start with Q?
I mean, you'd think quest. Like, do I have a book that says The Quest for anything? No, because that's a stupid title for a book. Thanks, Hokor. Q, and so really I. Q and I. Oh my gosh. What was it? Alright, so the only book that I have that starts with either I or Q is The Iron Ship by K.M. McKinley. Look at this cover. I love this cover. So I'm gonna go ahead with everything else on my November TBR, there is almost a 0% chance that I will actually get to this book, but it will be added to the pile of other books chosen by the D&D Minis that I must needs get through that I have not gotten through before. So I'm going to have a month where I just do the D&D Mini picks that I have missed up to this point. But yeah, this is 650 pages, and there's just no way. But it is on the TBR, so maybe, I don't know, who knows, it's the holidays. I can read a lot during the holidays. Anyway, the Minis have spoken.
As you've seen, it is the Iron Ship. So this book is about a bunch of different people in the same family, and one of them is a merchant, one's a soldier, one's a bureaucrat, one is kind of like an explorer, one's been an outcast, and one's a priest. And one of them has this plan to build this enormous iron ship and sail to lands unknown. And I've never heard anybody talk about this book. And the stuff that I've seen, the reviews have been kind of mixed, the reviews that I've looked, but this cover is so gorgeous, as is the sequel, City of Ice, and the third one, The Brass God. I love these covers, and I really, really want to know what this is about, because I really like books that have multiple characters from the same family doing different things, like in different viewpoints. I really like that kind of conceit. But as I said when I rolled the ball, there's almost no way I get to this month, but it will be added to that D&D Minis TBR that I'm going to hit all in 1 month, and hopefully I'll be able to get to this soon. So guys, that's it for my November TBR. It's 9 books. It's a lot, but I'm going to do my best to read as much as I can over the Thanksgiving holidays. Let me know what book on your TBR you're most excited to read. Guys, be sure to like and subscribe, and if you want to support me additionally, feel free to join the Patreon or just come over to the Discord and chat with the Knights of Alexandria. We have a good time over there talking about really pretty much anything. So, guys, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.